I'm so excited about this video. Today we're going to make the first piece of our dream wardrobe, and it is this pair of trousers. If you're new here, welcome. Hi, my name is Nuria, and in this series we're discovering how to create our dream wardrobe. From finding our style, what colors suit us best, what body shape we have, to going through the different pieces and finally sew the pieces together. Last week I introduced you to the main trousers, what trousers fit everybody best, and what trousers I'm going to make for my dream wardrobe. And today we're going to make two of those pairs. We're going to make one from my capsule wardrobe and another one, which is using the same pattern, from my spring statement pieces. How this video is going to work, I'm going to introduce you to the design, then I'm going to tell you a little bit how you can change the shape of the trousers to fit your body shape the best way, as always with drawings everywhere. Then I'm going to give you an overview on how to draft this pattern. I'm going to show you how long it takes for me to sew the pieces together. And finally, I'm gonna share with you all the iterations I've made of this pair of trousers, which I have to tell you, there's quite a bit. So you can see how the different shapes fit my rectangular body. As always, these videos are more of a vlog explanation, but if you want more in-depth tutorials or step-by-step instructions on how to draft and sew these patterns, I already have a video out for today's design. So go ahead, check it out. I'll link everything I'm gonna talk about down below, and let's get started. Let's look into today's design. We're going to start with the most beginner-friendly and the comfiest pair of trousers you've ever seen in your life. I've actually lost count of how many I've made because I absolutely love them. And if you look at the matrix, they are the lounge trousers and they fall into the trouser foundation and the flare at the hip. But of course you can make them with any foundation you want and you can make any neckline you want. These trousers have a low crotch and an elastic waistband, which make them really comfortable to fit any body type. And they are going to be wide legs because the wide legs are perfect for any body shape. As always, you can add any type of pockets if you want cargo pockets or you want invisible pockets or side pockets. And also you can make the waistband as wide or narrow as you want. In my opinion, the best fabric to make these trousers are lightweight fabrics because then they fall down and they are very drapey and very flowy, and I absolutely love the look of those types of fabric, and normally I make them in cotton or linen. But of course you can choose any fabric you want. And as for the colors, I'm gonna go more into depth when we talk about every body shape, but again, you can use any color you want. Let's look into how we can modify this pattern to fit any body shape. But before I start, let me tell you that these trousers are a staple because they are gonna fit almost every body shape. Like already the design that they have is going to be probably pretty much perfect for your body shape. So we're not gonna change that many things. I've even seen some pregnant ladies wearing these type of trousers. So it's very nice if you have a lot of body changes. These are also the perfect trousers for you. So let's start. I told you that the leg lines are going to be wide leg lines. It's true and false at the same time. I say wide leg lines because they're very wide, but at the same time is actually a straight pattern. But this leg line is going to work very well because it's going to add volume in the cases that we need to add volume, and it's going to hide the hips in the cases that we have to hide the hips. Also, the fact that we're gonna make them in lightweight fabrics is a good thing because that means that this is going to soften your body type, and at the same time is going to add curves or show the curves where you have them. As I told you in the last video, I consider the waistband to be something more related to your body proportions, so I'm going to say that all the drawings that I'm going to be doing today are going to be sitting in the natural waistline, but you can change them as much as you want. And the same for the width of the waistband. If you have a shorter torso, then I would go for a thinner waistband, and the other way around if you have a longer torso. Let's start with the rectangular body shape, which is mine. And as we know, for a rectangle, we need to add volume on the lower part of the body and create some curves. We're creating the curves already with the light fabric. And how we can add the illusion of volume on the lower part of our body is by changing the color. So instead of going for a dark fabric, we're gonna go for a lighter fabric. Another thing you can do to add the illusion of volume is by adding details. So in this case, instead of having invisible pockets, I'm going to be doing side pockets, and I'm also going to add some cord, some strings to tie on the waist. As always, here you have the comparison side by side, so you can decide for yourself which one you would go for. Then we move into the inverted triangle. The inverted triangle is very similar to the rectangular body shape. The only difference is that it has more volume at the top, so you have to balance it out a little bit more on the bottom. So if we look at the design we created for the rectangular body, we want to add even more volume. And we can do that, for example, by adding turn-ups at the bottom of your pants. Again, here you have all the options side by side, so you decide. The next one is the hourglass, and as we know, the hourglass is pretty much really well balanced, so we're not going to need that many details. If you put all those details, that means that you're going to have to balance it out on the top, but now that we're only focusing on the bottom, we're gonna minimalize. So that means that all the details that we added for the rectangular and for the inverted triangle, we remove them. And of course the color, you can go for a darker color or for a light color, but to be honest, both are going to work. And if you don't believe me, you can look at it for yourself in this example. From the hourglass, we move into the pear, and the pear is exactly the opposite that we were doing for the rectangle and the triangular. We already have the volume on the hips, so we have to kind of hide the volume. As always, there's no right or wrongs, but the theory says that you should hide that volume. The wide legs are already going to do that really well, but one other thing that we can do is add a darker color, because that's going to slim your body shape. And again, because we don't want to draw attention to the bottom part of your body, we're going to stay away from pockets that are really visible or from the strings that are going to make you look at your waist. So you can look at this picture and see the difference between all those details and without them. And from the pear shape, we're going to move into the apple shape, and they are kind of similar because we still want to draw attention away from the hips for the apple shape, but at the same time we want to add volume to the lower part of our legs, because normally the apple is top heavy and we want to create that balance. That means we're going to stay with the dark colors, but at the same time we're going to add some details on the lower part of the legs. So you can add things like cargo pockets or even turn-ups if you want. But again, if what you're looking for is light pair of trousers, that's also going to work, because as I told you, these trousers are going to work really well for every body shape. So these are little teeny tiny details that you can change, but completely unnecessary if you just want to go for the normal pair of trousers, the basic that I showed you at the beginning. I also want to say that when I say no details, I normally mean no pockets, and I saw someone in the comments say that the pockets are not details. I kind of agree and disagree at the same time. I agree that pockets are not there to be a detail, but they can be a detail somehow, no? Because if you have invisible pockets, then I agree, it's all about usability of the pants. But if you have side pockets, or if you have cargo pockets, or if you have jeans pockets, then I'm sorry, I think they're details. I'm sorry. And then, as I told you, the wide leg lines are a type of leg line that suits most of the body shapes, not to say all of them, but of course, if for your body shape you prefer to have a tapered version because they are more comfortable, or I don't know, you want to lower the crotch even because you want to wear them as pajamas, or you want to make shorts and you make them shorts, you can also use this pattern. And I have all those things that you want to change, I have them in the instructions, in the step-by-step instructions in my other channel. I'll show you at the end some of the designs that I've made like that. And now that you know how to change this trouser design for your specific body shape, we're gonna get into how to draft the pattern. As I told you, these trousers are one of the most beginner-friendly pattern out there to draft and to sew. Both of them, they are very easy, and you're only going to need the trouser foundation. Don't worry, I'm also going to link the instructions down below. So let's get started. Once you have your trouser foundation, the first thing you're going to do is create a vertical line that goes from the hip lines down to the hem and up to the waist. Then we're gonna move this line 5 centimeters away from the hip line to make sure that the waist is big enough to fit the hips when you put the trousers on. Then we're going to mark the hem lines and make sure that the sides for the front and the back are the same length. The next step is going to be marking your waistband. In my case, it's going to be 4 centimeters white and then separate it from the main pattern. Here you can decide to change your leg line and make it tapered or leave it straight and as it is. Then the next step is going to be marking the pocket 4 centimeters below the waistline and make it as big as you want. And just so you know, my opening is 18 centimeters and I made the pocket big enough to fit my phone. Then you put the front and the back waistbands together and you double the width. And finally you add the seam allowances to all the pieces and there you have it, you have your pattern. I hope you didn't find it too confusing, but the truth is that this pattern has 4 pieces only and I love it. And now that we have all the pieces, it's time finally to get into sewing them. I've told you a million times that this pattern is the easiest thing to put together, so I want to prove it to you and I'm going to time myself so you see how long it takes me to cut and to sew. And introducing you the fabrics that I'm going to be using. For the capsule wardrobe first, I'm going to be using this light, soft, 100% with kind of like a denim color, but it's not denim at all, it just has the illusion. But this is the fabric, very flowy, very lightweight, amazing. And I'm going to make this pair of trousers with the cord at the front and the side pockets. And for my spring statement piece, I'm going to be using this fabric here. Yeah! I told you I wanted to add yellow into it, but I couldn't find a fabric that had my colors and then a little bit of yellow, but I love this one. And for this one, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. So instead of cutting the waistband, the same fabric as the main trousers, I'm going to be using an elastic that it's blue, this blue color here, and see how it is attaching only an elastic, if it works or if it doesn't work. But again, super excited. And also invisible pockets, because otherwise that's gonna be too much. So without further ado, let's get into the cutting. We start by pressing. We have the fabric, we have the pieces, so let's see how long it takes me. Okay, longer than I would have expected, but it took me 40 minutes and 44 seconds. Let's get into sewing. Next step is going to be sewing, so let's start. Okay, so I only have the waistband left and we have the pockets and everything. They're perfect. And I've been sewing for 1 hour and 9 minutes, which is a lot, but I'm taking it slowly because I'm out of energy. I have a dinner in half an hour, so let's see if I can finish it before the dinner and I get to wear them. Okay, do you know when you want to do things super fast and then you start making mistakes and it's a complete mess? This is what's happening now. I've overlocked it wrong, like wrong, it's wrong. But they are wearable. The only thing I have left to do is the hem and the cord to attach here and then finish the edges a little bit better because this is shocking. Okay, so these are the trousers right now. Good. I'm late for dinner. This is how long it took me to make, but because I made mistakes and then I undid the mistakes and then I fix it and not fix it. But tomorrow that I have a little bit more time, I'm gonna show you how long it takes me to make the other pair and I'm gonna chill a bit more. See you tomorrow. Good morning. Look at these amazing trousers. They are completely done. I finished them this morning and now we're gonna make the other pair. Let's see how long it takes me because again, I'm tight with time and I have to leave in 2 hours. So let's go. Okay, and we're done. By done, I mean I haven't finished the hem. But you know what? I need to leave now, so I don't have time. Look at this thing! Let me try them on. Okay, look at these spring trousers. Ooh. Now let's go back to the Nuria that explains, and I'll show you all the different pieces so you see how they look on my body. And now that we're done with all the pairs of trousers, I want to share with you all the pairs that I've made with this pattern, and I can tell you I wear them all the time and I wear all of them. I want to start with the first one I made, and it was this linen pair of trousers for summer last year. This was the first time I made them and I made quite some mistakes. The first one was choosing a very thin linen, because if I'm not wearing underwear that is the same color as my skin or it's white, you can always see it. So that's a bit of a problem. And the other thing is that I didn't want the legs to be too wide, and I only added 3 centimeters instead of 5 centimeters, and it's a bit tight when it goes around the hip, which I don't fully like. So that's why now I give 5 centimeters instead of 3 centimeters. The second pair of trousers I made was my pajamas, and those ones are absolutely perfect. I love the color, I love absolutely everything. And I made another pair for Owen with a lower crotch and tapered leg lines. These ones I also like because still the color is wonderful, the shape is wonderful, the comfort is wonderful. The only thing is that I prefer how the wide legs look on me. Then we move into the pajama shorts that I made, and I followed exactly the same pattern as for the ones before, and this time I made them in shorts, and I chose a little bit of thicker fabric and elastic fabric. This is made with jersey, 100% cotton, and they're the perfect pajama trousers. I also wear them all the time. The only thing that I didn't do with these ones is sewing the elastic in place, and I didn't do it because I thought with this fabric it wouldn't look as nice, but I have to say it's a bit of a mess when you have to reorganize all the gathers around your waist, but still absolutely love them. Then we move into the ones we made for this video, and they are the jean kind of trousers, and they're lovely. I love them. I was expecting the side pockets to be a little bit more visible, and it's not the case, which I'm not too mad about. And I'm not sure I'm convinced about the drawstring, but I wanted to try it. I don't think I'm gonna do it again, but they're very comfortable, very nice. I've worn them out with friends. I have to say, I do feel like I'm wearing pajamas. So comfort-wise, it's very nice, but look-wise, maybe I should have gone for a bit of a narrower neckline. Or I'm thinking about adding pockets to the back to make them look more like trousers. Although all my friends have told me that they absolutely love them and that they want a pair. And then finally, we move into my spring statement piece. They are maybe a bit too much, but I think they're enough. You know what I mean? That perfect balance. For these trousers, I went back into invisible pockets and I tried a different type of elastic attachment, and I think I'm not fully convinced with it because it adds more volume below the elastic, and I feel like that looks a little bit weird. And I also tried to fold the elastic inwards so you don't see elastic at all, and then I decided that that was not very good for my body shape because I already don't have much of a waist, and when I do that, the gathers kind of like get out and you're adding volume onto your waist and I look bigger. I don't know, I don't like how it makes me look, the proportions, it feels wrong. But still, if I use the elastic as I planned, they're absolutely perfect and I love them. They're very comfortable, and with a white t-shirt, they are gonna go really, really well. So I can't wait to introduce you to the t-shirts, but I'm also a little bit scared about t-shirts. And those are all the trousers. Overall, I love them, love them, love them. I don't know if you understand how much I love them, but I really do. I don't think I'm gonna make more pairs though, because, you know, I think I have enough. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I motivated you to make them, because really, I don't know how many times I've said it, but they are so easy and so fun to make. If you remember, it took me like 40 minutes to cut them and 2 hours to put them together. And I don't know if I told you, but I'm a really slow sewist because I have my videos next to me, and then I want to do this, and then I want a snack, and then, you know, I make a mistake and I have to undo it. So if you are someone that is very fast, you could do it in 1 hour, okay? I'm just challenging you right now. If you make them, let me know. You can follow me on Instagram. My handle is _Nuriamo. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Pleated trousers are coming next week, so wait for that. And I hope you have a great rest of the week. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.